Okay, gentlemen, we are now live. This is DM Bloodworth, and this is our first running of Star Frontiers, an I'm sorry, an RPG that was produced by TSR back in 1982. And the community that we're a part of is Star Frontiers Alive and Well, which is kind of a resurgence of the game. This first adventure, that I've written is entitled Jet Cans and Creole. And as we go, through the mission, you'll understand why it's called that. I am joined today by Padre E.T., Silver Lion, and Zulki. Gentlemen, if you'd like to, just say hello.
Hello?
Hello.
And if you guys want to just, give a brief description of your characters so that the listeners can, hear a little bit about their characters, so we could eventually grow attached to them and, travel with them through their adventures.
Well, I guess I'll start. I'm playing Zerk, which is a brusque with primary skills focusing on robots and computers. He has beautiful green chitin with pale joints, bright active eyes, and always stirring antenna. He's a very curious young brusque, and I plan to play him that way and see where it goes.
Okay, next up. Thank you.
Okay. Padre ET playing Will Anderson. So, like a security intelligence officer with a military background. And I'm human. This is first time playing this system in a long time.
Okay, great. Thank you. And finally, Zulke.
We can't hear you again, Zolke, for some reason. All right. Technical issues. They will be covered shortly.
Okay. I will. So Zulke is playing Samson Jones, a human. He is his primary PSA is military. His secondary is technology. So his primary skills are projectile weapons, thrown weapons, melee weapons, and his secondary is kind of like a machinist. So he can make some simple tools and simple weapons. And yes, we have your sound back.
Fantastic.
All right, great. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to move on to the actual adventure. So this is the maiden voyage for this new team, and a fairly routine voyage this is meant to be. This mission is meant to introduce the PCs to each other and to the skills and operations of the CSS Zydeco and its captain. All right, the CSS stands for the Cassadine spaceship Zydeco, and part of the the nuance of this ship and its crew is that the captain, who is a Dralisite, is quite fond of Creole music, which is always being piped through the ship's sound system. So kind of an eccentric character that he is, and through these adventures, through these through the players, you'll also hopefully get a good sense and flavor for the NPCs that they are working with on a daily basis and encounter along the way. So, without further ado, we'll jump right into the adventure. The character's party finds themselves on the Cassadine station Radagorn. Uh, it is in the, it is registered to the Cassadine Development Corporation, and this is in the triad system of the Cassadine star cluster. Okay, to each of the individual characters. All right, you are walking through the transit hub of the station Radagorn with your CDC ID badge, which will double as your boarding pass, a travel bag with your bare essentials, and any non-bulky and non-combat gear. This list is as per your hiring agreement with the CDC. So basically you have your toiletries and some clothing items and not much more than that. You've been assigned to the CSS Sedeco, an older model frigate which has been modified for deep space salvaging operations and captained by Hugo Gleb. Other than this information, you know nothing of your specific assignment, but a safe assumption is your particular skill sets will be put to use. Passing through the massive hub, you check the overhead monitors for your destinations to Docking Bay 424. As you pass by Bay 101, you get a momentary sickening feeling that you're quite a long walk ahead of you, but you quickly realize that the first number is the corridor number 4 and then 24. Making your way down the proper corridor in a few minutes, the bay lays before you. You see others.
Hi.
Yes, you see others milling about near the checkpoint, and at least one individual with the same kind of ID badge made to turn down the bay along with you. The checkpoint is currently unmanned, or more accurately, the robot clerk/sentry is either powered down or running a maintenance cycle. A quick check at your wrist comm, and you verify that you are 20 minutes early. Okay, so at this point, you see several other individuals. You see a Vrosk, 2 humans, and some other, individuals, passing here and there around this particular area. But the 3 of you certainly are the only ones that you see with these boarding passes.
Hello. I'm Zurisk. Most people call me Zur. And you are?
You're directing that to whom?
I'm just whoever's nearest
Oh,
me.
so it's whoever's nearest.
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of,
Yeah.
mix a little and, just look like I'm looking around and just listening and observing folks.
Okay. Padre?
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Sorry.
Sorry.
Zulki? You still having a sound problem?
It sounds like it.
Yeah, maybe he is. Okay, Zulki, if you can hear us, you can just type in the dice rolling channel for. Or perhaps he stepped away. All right, we're going to move on. So after a brief wait, the robot at the kiosk activates, and the door behind the robot shifts its indicator light from red to yellow. He just typed someplace, I think.
Oh, well, hello to you, brother. I
Ah,
think we will be quite a fine family, uh, at least under the CDC
all right. So Zulki is
corporation.
relogging, so hopefully he'll get that cleared up. All right, so Zulki says, hello, brothers. I guess we're shipmates.
Hello.
Ah,
Guess so. Good to meet you all.
Yes,
all right.
and you will be quite close. It'll be fantastic. Are we sure this robot is working? I mean, its light is green and it's active, but I'm not sure it's 100% functional. It's moving kind of slow.
Are we able to check in with the robot?
Yes, as you approach the robot. So it says, after a brief wait, the robot at the kiosk activates, and the door behind the robot shifts its indicator light from red to yellow. Will the
Yeah.
crew of the Cassadine spaceship Zydeco, registry number CZ42637A, approach and present your boarding clearance and prepare for security scanning?
This is exciting.
So as you gentlemen,
We'll line up.
line up, yes, as you line up, shortly after this process, the door behind the robot shifts again from yellow to green, and the door slides open. Beyond lays a long corridor. At the end, a hatch is opened, granting entry into the ship itself.
Ooh,
All right, so
Can I walk down that way?
yes, yes. So you guys, as you start walking down, and there's others behind you, behind you as well. They kind of join in, you know, after the three of you proceed. All right, and as you approach, you can hear the sound of music emanating from the ship. And standing at the entry are two figures, a Dralosite and a human male. Both are clearly officers, and by their carriage and your own prior knowledge, the Dralosite is clearly the captain, but his uniform is not as formal or as well kept as the humans.
hello. Do I salute? I'm not sure if I salute. You
Uh,
are the captain of the ship.
he's the captain of the ship, but this is this
Civilian
is
vessel.
this
Yeah.
is a civilian. It's a corporate ship.
Yeah,
So
but I asked him this. I'm like, am I supposed to salute? I've never been on a frigate before.
yeah,
Even
the Dralosite captain, introduces himself. He says, "Welcome," and he says, "This is not a military ship." He says, although he says, "I do understand former military people, tend to salute." Uh,
oh no, I just saw it on a screen somewhere and thought that was what you were supposed to do.
yes. So he introduces
Never
himself as the captain. So he is Captain Gleb, and the his
Captain
first
Blip.
officer. His first officer is Hayredden Burbar. All right,
Hey,
now
Barbar?
Hayredden Burbar. Yes,
Hey, Red and Barbar.
yes. So
It is a pleasure to meet you, First Officer Barbar. And
right,
definitely a pleasure to meet you, Captain Glib.
and he says, and it's a pleasure to have you all aboard. He says, we have many fine things to do, many mission objectives within the next couple of days, and we'll be departing. We'll be departing shortly after everyone is on board and the ship is fully stocked for deep space travel. All right, and so you guys enter. So after the brief introduction, a tour of the ship and an escort to your quarters. These are not personal quarters, but you share two bed dorms. All right, you're invited to the crew mess hall at 1900 for a crew dinner and briefing. So you guys
Well,
are like
I
kind of getting settled in. So there's two to a room. So one of you would be paired up with one of the other individuals coming on board along with you.
any other Rusk?
No.
Okay. Then I just random.
Yes. All right. So you get settled in and everything, and then around 1830 or so, you start making your way towards the mess hall.
Sounds good.
Okay. Is everyone pretty much on board with the same thing? There you go, CG.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Yes.
It seems like every time I press this die roller, it disconnects me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Um, Let me see if I have the same problem. That's a bit of a concern. Sound check, sound check.
I
No.
hear you.
Yeah, so I didn't have the same problem. Have you tried to you logged in as admin, correct?
No, it wouldn't let me log in as an admin. I don't understand why.
For Discord? Yeah, that's weird. Usually if you just right click it, it lets you select admin. Anyway, you can double check it again and see if that causes the same problem.
No problem.
All right, I'm gonna go on to the briefing.
Yes.
All right, so briefing by Captain Gleb. Welcome, crew, new and returning, and consider recent events. And the captain directs your attention to the monitor. It is the year 63 of the frontier year. All right, and just within the last 3 weeks, the Streel Corporation had attacked CDC operations on Alcazar. The Star Law had intervened and averted a potential corporate war. He continues to brief the crew. It is likely we will be quite busy indeed. Not that wars are a good thing in general, but we are in the salvaging wrecks business, and wars sure do produce a lot of wrecks. He pauses for a few moments, takes a puff of his vapor pipe, and seems to get lost for a few more moments in the ever-present but low music playing over the communication system. So, he abruptly snaps back to focus on his briefing and/or greeting. Or perhaps this might be, although direct hostilities may have been averted, the CSS Sideco is a CDC registered ship, and we will have to be wary of Streel ship's personnel as well as other potential dangers that we may encounter. We have a fine crew here, and we have brought on a second away team, so we might expand our operations. He takes a final pause, another vapor puff, and at which you watch with some fascination as the mist is absorbed not so much into his mouth but throughout his entire body. I will turn this over to the first officer Barbar. The captain then steps out of the mess hall and heads in the direction of the bridge. All right, so you guys are still sitting around the tables. You see pretty much the entire crew is assembled. Are you going to, say or do anything at this point?
I'm gonna wait for the briefing from the first man.
Okay. All right,
Oh,
so go ahead.
I would like to look at the other crew members besides us here. Nothing that stands out of the ordinary between what everybody else is wearing, civilians or anything.
Well, everyone is wearing, basics like space jumpsuits, so
Coveralls.
yeah, like coverall type things. There are some people who are wearing, what's clearly officer uniforms. The entire crew is a number of 30 members of the crew. You know that there's seven officers on the ship, and then the remaining crew there are two away teams. Your team is a group of three, and then the other team is a group of five at this point. The rest of the crew is made up of other service related individuals, possibly seven engineers, a couple medical staff, and then the rest are just computer tech and other roles that are played by the remainder of the crew.
And this other team of five, are they also salvage?
Yes, they are. So you were brought on board to be a second team, so that they can spread out their salvage operation.
Not a problem.
Okay. So the first officer steps up, and you notice he's much less casual than the captain was. All right, so he's going to brief you on your first operation. So he says the CSS Linkota is a derelict light freighter that was disabled and abandoned by its crew. The CDC is currently investigating the incident, but the outcome has no bearing on our mission. Due to the freighter's class and the age and maintenance records, recovery of this ship is not a cost-effective operation. Only certain items and components are of value and will be salvaged. The ship will then be cleaned of all registry identifiers and demolished on site. The away team will be given the priority salvage list, or PSL, and the necessary known ship specifications and/or item specifications so that they may prepare for operations. Are there any questions?
Do we know exactly what we need to salvage from the freighter?
He says each team will be given a list, a manifest of items that they are to salvage. He says you'll be given a file of the ship itself, along with the deck plan, so that you can identify the exact spots where you're to go and pick up the items that are on your list.
Are there any expected hazards or opposition?
He says that the nature of the ship's issue that brought it to a halt and a subsequent abandonment of it is unknown at this time. He says, but you're to prepare for any potential hazard that can be expected on a derelict ship.
Okay.
Will we be issued sidearms boarding?
Yes, he says standard equipment, whatever you're accustomed to training within reason. He says, but there is a complement of weapons and equipment necessary for boarding a derelict ship.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so following the meeting, the crew is dismissed and the players can retire to your rooms. Once in your rooms, all right, yeah, so you guys, I'm assuming you just head off to your rooms.
Yeah.
And as you enter your rooms, whether it's together, like two of you are paired up and the third is separated, you all notice the same thing in your rooms, though. There's a data tablet on your beds with a flashing read alert on it. When you open the tablet, it activates to a page entitled Operational Manual Away Teams. And as you're reading, you're reading the highlights of the text, and it says, on ship operations, equipment inventory, equipment maintenance, and storage. It says the gear. Everyone will be issued a spacesuit, 3 life support refills, a rocket pack with 3 refills, pack refills, magnetic shoes, 2 extra patches, a team member specific weapon, toolkit, and a light source. Then the operational manager manual continues to describe the harpoon grappling system. And as you read, it states that the CSS Sedeco does not have a shuttle. Instead, it uses a grappling system. A tag is fired that adheres to the target, and then an electromagnetic tether is generated, which holds the derelict ship in place, and it is reeled into approximately 100 meters. Any evasive movement will break the tether for safety purposes. The spacesuit operations is the next section, and it includes taking the walk, gaining access to the target through its docking bay or other entry point, including making one. All right, rocket packs and their recharges is described. Spacesuit operation in close quarters is described. Restoring ship life support procedures by ship model and manufacturer. The jettison canister launcher system and retrieval system is explained. Once a derelict ship or object is tethered, the GCL, that's the jettison canister operator on a Sedeco, will use the tether to send the collapsible jet cans over to the target. Once these are filled, they will be with the salvage material from the target. They will be redeployed and retrieved by the ship's operating crew.
Okay.
So it's a pretty extensive, dense read. And the last section is on scuttling the ship.
Okay. I read it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to study it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely study it because I guess if they're going to scuttle the ship, I guess we're going to overload the core.
They actually talk about the manual actually talks about setting demolition charges.
Okay.
Because the core is a retrievable item. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a copy of the deck plan. So you can take a look at this.
Where are you putting it?
I'm going to put it in dice roll. Okay, so there's the deck plan. So as you can see on the deck plan, once you open it up, it's a Dauntless class light cargo ship. It's a system ship, so it's not capable of warp drive or making interstellar system jumps. The usual entry points are either the cargo bay area, which you see at number 9, or the escape pod entry through number 2.
Okay.
Does everyone have the floor plan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Affirmative.
Okay. So you start looking through your materials and you can see your manifest, and so your manifest is obviously showing that you have to retrieve items from the cockpit, from the workshop, from medical, which is in 3, from the engineering rooms, the engine room, which is number 6, and finally to make your exit through the storage bay at point 9. And point 9 is also where you will set up the jettison canister to be or canisters to be deployed out the hold doors, where your ship, the Sadeko, will proceed in reeling those canisters in.
All right.
Okay.
Seems simple enough.
Yes. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So the next morning, your ship is underway and moving under maximum impulse power, which is system power, towards your target, which actually strikes you as somewhat of a surprise that, fortunately at least, your target ship is within the same system. All right, the CSS Lakota is a Dauntless class system cargo ship. Your team will enter the ship through the escape pod portal. As that access point is already open, its outer doors having been left open to space, the tether operation has already been conducted, and now it's time for your team to make its way to the ship. So basically what you guys have to do is prepare for a spacewalk.
All right. Put the spacesuit. Take it. Take it for care. All
Yeah,
of
I'd
it.
like to do a system check.
Okay.
Get the rocket pack on. I'll help other people get their rocket packs on because I imagine it requires it.
We'll check each other's spacesuits for tears or anything. Make sure all equipment is functioning. We'll do a 360 on each other to make sure everything's right, and we'll tether each other on. And I guess that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, great. So what you can all do is you can all do you can all make a roll. So go to the dice rolling channel and roll D100. Oh my God!
Okay.
What a great roll! Okay. and Padre 69. All right, well, so Silver Lion, and actually we'll probably change the nicknames on Discord to match your characters so we can have that conversation that way. But
Yeah.
Silver Lion, your role was exceptional, obviously, and you're able to point out some of the the minor flaws in Zulki's check and even Padre's check. So it's because you made such an exceptional role that you're able to assist them, and all of your systems are ready to go.
Thank you, brother.
Of course. I'm always glad to help.
Very well.
Okay.
But just remember, I'm not running first into fighting robots. I'm going to sneak around them and turn them off.
No problem. I got your back.
Good.
Roger.
Okay. All right. So now you guys
By
are
the way,
prepared. Go ahead.
Do we have sidearms, or is there
Yes,
something
you have
rifle size I can get? Or
yes, you'll have what's your primary weapon is. You'll have your primary weapon. So
I didn't list one yet.
yeah,
I figured like a laser pistol or a laser rifle, whatever is
probably
appropriate.
a laser. Yeah, I mean a laser pistol is not a problem. You're going on to like close quarters, so you're most likely not carrying a laser rifle. I know, Zulki, that you're fond of them, but you're not carrying any kind of grenades onto this ship.
Yes, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't carry one in here.
All right, so you'll have your needle pistol and your knife if you so choose.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take both those.
Yeah. And then like whatever, like as I said, the gear, so some kind of a light source, some kind of you have your patches, your spacesuits, and such. So you have all of the gear that they had listed.
Oh, can I have basically a robot light? I mean, all it is it floats and shines light where I want it. It's not any smarter than that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's probably in your and you have whatever kits that you need for performing your PSA. So if you have a computer PSA, then you have a computer kit with you, robots, obviously a robot kit with you, and so on.
Well, they're actually combined.
Yeah, so they have a basic kits that you also need to perform your duties.
Yep.
Okay. So now you're at the point of just about you're in the airlock area. The outer door opens up, and as you get to the very edge, you're going to make your attempts to make this this distance with your rocket packs. Now,
short burst.
Yeah, it's at least a very short distance, and you should be able to get there in just one attempt. So one burst will give you the momentum needed to traverse this short distance of roughly 100 meters.
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
Do we have tether lines that we can actually hook up to our airlock in our ship?
They're not like solid lines. What they do is they're magnetic. So there's a magnetic tether that is in between your ship and the target ship. All right, and what they did was they fired off a tag, and that tag is actually tethered to that line.
Okay.
So it's not physical, though.
Yeah, so it's not a physical line. No, it's not a physical tether. Because if the ship has to go into an evasive maneuver, they want to be able to, obviously shut that thing off.
So we got a 100-meter burn.
Yes.
Hopefully our suits have a transponder and an emergency beacon.
All right, so you all make your D100 rolls.
We have to roll for that too.
Yes, you're.
Wow.
All right, so Zuki.
I think I'm lost in space, guys.
All right, let's see. Silverton is an 88, and yours. It's weird. Padre is a 63. Okay. Silver Lion. All right, so you actually did not burn as accurately as you were hoping to, and obviously Zoke, you were exceptionally good. So each team member may use their rocket packs. An exceptional success will allow the first team member to assist others, granting them a 10% bonus. So it really takes your 69, I'm sorry, your 88, and makes it a 78. Which is still a failure, but it's not as excessively failed. So, Silver Lion, just make a second roll.
As long as I can get a foot on the ship with my magnetic boots, I'm good.
Yeah, so just make a second roll. Yeah, make a second roll.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It's a D. Oh, because you didn't do it.
I see. Oh, it's even worse.
83.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a second roll. It's really a 73. It's actually better than your first roll. And a 73. It's just barely. You're getting closer.
Wasting fuel.
Yeah. Well, you have 3 extra fuel cans. One more burst, and you'll be done with your first can.
I think I'm going to try and quickly compute a better trajectory fast and see if I can get going that way.
Ah, there you go. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, so you recalculate and you do your third burn, and now you finally gain access to the ship. You get your toe on there, and you feel the magnetic pull, and now you're on the ship after 3 tries. Okay, guys. So the entry. Escape pod Area 2. Entering the ship, you start in the escape pod area. Its outer door is left open, and its inner door, or hatch, is likewise open. Although there are several control panels and monitors, few, if any, major systems seem to be powered up. The prospect that even the inner hatch, and perhaps others throughout the ship, might mean that there is that much, if not all, of your time here will be in this spacesuit. Excuse me. So,
are all of the escape pods present?
So we have no
the escape pods are the escape pods are gone, and both the outer door and the inner doors are wide open.
And any sign of battle damage?
Can we secure these outer doors?
You could start looking for a method of doing that. So this is where like some of your specific skills are going to come into play. So
I'm going to see if I can get up the computer system working.
Okay. All right. So you are going to hop on the computer system, and you are going to make an operating computer roll.
While he's doing that on that panel there, I'm gonna kneel down a little somewhat, and I'm gonna be facing down that corridor down towards the pilot area.
All right.
Just keeping an eye on that.
Oh.
Okay.
No, apparently I cannot get anything working.
All right. So
it may not have any power.
How about maybe it has a manual override? I see a small system panel right there, right next to where that the double door is, just above the two. You're facing it on the right hand side.
So you're going to use your mechanical engineering skill, so you can make a roll based on that.
Yes. There we go.
Oh, that's a good roll. All right. So let's see, a 17. Yes, that is a blue roll, which is a good roll. All right. And Padre, you're just guarding the door, correct? You're peering down.
Yeah, I'll cover the corridor too while they're working on the door.
All right. So
opposite side of the bulkhead.
Yes, there is a manual override where you can. It's an older ship model, and so it does have like a hand crank.
Correct.
Where you could at least start to close down. Now that's not going to pressurize the area, but it'll at least set up for it to be done. You probably have to get some of the other ship operations working in order to repressurize.
Yeah. Sure, it was an equalized pressure on the ship, so
yeah.
Not a problem.
All right, so and yeah, you're able to close that that outer door. Okay.
So should we head down the corridor to the first intersection?
Give me one moment, and we will move. So. Yes. So you could start heading down.
If it's okay with everybody, I'm gonna lead the party.
Okay.
I'm gonna come to that junction, the L right there at the end of the corner. just before we hit the pilot's cabin, and I'm gonna peer down that left corridor very slowly. I'm trying to hear as much as I can through my amplifiers on my spacesuit, and just trying to see if something is what might have caused these people to evacuate.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah,
You're not going to hear much in the vacuum
yeah,
anymore.
you're peering down that left corridor, and about 30 meters down the corridor, you can see that there's definitely an airlock door that is closed. So the possibility, knowing the layout of the ship, is the possibility that that could be airlocked at that point. So
Okay.
the cockpit door was also open at this point. So you believe that at least this portion of the ship was left open to space.
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna stay in that corridor right there in that corner of that corridor, looking down that left corridor, and I'm gonna let the guys with the skills check maybe for cockpit recorder or anything that they can salvage in there that might tell them. There should be a flight log.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are going to enter the other two of you will enter the cockpit area.
Sure, we'll leapfrog in,
Okay.
clear the room, and
Okay.
then scan for any of our salvageable thing.
Okay. So you enter the cockpit. All right. So following the corridor from the escape bay, pod bay, your map shows that the cockpit is at the other end. Your hopes are that the ship can be powered up from there. The cockpit door is similarly left open, and again, the room appears to have minimal power to its consoles.
Do we have a list that we're supposed to?
Yes, you do have a list that you're supposed to get from here. Your first thing is to see if you can power up the computers,
Okay.
or at least it's auxiliary power. All right, so.
I will try that.
All right.
I'll scan around any signs of struggle, and battle damage.
No, there's no signs of any real struggle or battle damage.
Dear dice roller, you are loading me.
All right. Oh, the 89 was yours?
Yeah. And I don't have a +10 modifier. I only have a +2.
89. So you have a +2. Yeah, that's not. So you're still struggling, trying to get the computer system up and running. Any other attempt? If you want to try to do a mechanical, maybe there's some kind of a panel or something that can be removed.
Yeah, I'm gonna pry open underneath and see if all the wires are still connected again.
Okay.
They're not damaged in any way.
Well, let's see. So that didn't work for you. Zulki, why don't you give a search for any kind of manual overrides or other panels to give Silver Lion a different access.
All right, Gil. I'll have somebody over here stationed in the corridor to back us up. Yeah. We gotta be vigilant.
All right. Okay. So. All right. So Zulki, you actually remove some panels, and you find another manual you find another manual airlock trigger that you can close this door now, and you're able to do that as well. So you at least have the means of opening and closing the cockpit at this point.
Hopefully that. Do we feel that is we getting pressure in the cockpit?
Not yet, but you know, like from your mechanical engineering aspect, that the auxiliary systems, are in a different area than the area that Silver Lion was working on. So you suggest to him to try to work on the auxiliary system.
Okay. So basically, the ship is power. Is we do have some type of power on the ship, but it's basically emergency power. That's what we
Yeah,
got.
it's
Okay.
yeah, and it's very low, so a boost of the auxiliary system might allow you to fire up everything else.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll convey that information to my friends and let them know, and
Well,
I'll let somebody with better skill than this to continue their search, and I'll take my post there on that quarter.
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate your help.
Not a problem.
See if I can get it working this time.
Okay.
Beautiful.
That's a good score. So your second attempt is more successful, and you are able to start to restore, some power to the auxiliary systems, and you're getting indicators. All right, so your computer technician is able to bring auxiliary power online.
Can I try to access the ship's log once this
Yeah,
power comes out?
so it can now also run a systems diagnostic, which reveals that the main power must be rebooted from the engineering section. You also determine that the emergency airlock system can now be deployed, but you already did that manually. All right. Also, while you're here, the flight data recorder must be extracted to fulfill one of your items on the salvage manifest. The
I
data
can work
can
on
be
that for
retrieved.
us.
Yeah, so you have a choice. You can either retrieve it digitally, computer, and upload it, or you can mechanically remove the box itself.
I think it would be wise if we take the whole box.
Yes, I
Okay,
agree.
All right.
we'll take the
I,
box.
All right. So you'll make a mechanical engineering roll so Zolki, you can try to remove the box. All right. A
I got
54.
I got a +10.
Yeah. It's You have a +10, so that makes it basically a 44. All right. Let me check your stat. That's so key. Yeah, you're kind of struggling to get the box itself out. It's You almost got it, but it kind of hung up on some stuff, and you're just trying to work it out. Yeah, it wasn't a complete failure, but you could not extract the box.
Okay, well, can somebody else give me a hand here while I hold it in?
Yeah, as you're holding it in, the Silver Lion, you could try to jack in directly to it, and at least try to extract the information from it in case he can't